Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here, the final of the Singapore Sevens, Fiji versus New Zealand, a rematch of the gold medal matchup from the Tokyo Olympics. This game is going to be absolutely enthralling, entertaining, and sevens at its finest. But I hope you guys are all doing well. The game is currently maybe about 5 minutes or so away, but we will keep you informed of who is going to be playing for both of these sides, including we will start with Fiji. For this game, it is going to be Josefa Talatholo. Then at number 5, it is going to be Kana Kaivata. Does get to start in this one. Tavita Dalgunu, Del Waisia Nathunu. Then Jerry Tawai, the experienced fellow in himself. He is going to be ready to go. Rasaku there at 11. And then it is Nadavalu who is starting in there at number 12. We have got Singapore Sevens Championship final. It certainly is. And it should be an absolutely phenomenal game of rugby. We know that both of these sides have the potential. For me, at the moment, I'd say Fiji are going in slightly more confident to this final, and also 19-17 to Fiji, and also I don't even care who wins. I'm just happy that these guys haven't played in months. Anyone deserves to win. Says Tesla, and also show the game, but also what a clash. Though, damn, says Tesla. Yeah, it's going to be a good one for the New Zealanders. They have got Tony Inshu, Dylan Collier, then it is going to be Rocco Lisoa, there, Sam Dixon, Regan Ware, Leroy Carter, and Moses Leo. Both of those two that I mentioned, Leo and Carter, both on debut at the start of this Sevens tournament. And they have been looking pretty good throughout it. And also, any chance of live video of the finals, mate, it is going to be on the World Rugby YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. But if we show it, we get copyright struck and banned for 3 months. So that is not good. And also, we've got that. Is this a cup final? It is indeed. So whoever wins it will end up being the Singapore champions. Oh, we've got people having a bit of a dance there in the stands by the looks of it in New Zealand. Definitely Singapore Sevens champions. And then half of me, as I am a Kiwi. And there as well, says Catherine. So at this stage, I actually released a video not too long ago, and it was my preview of this match. Anyone who does want to see that video before the match does get underway. I say that maybe Fiwi is a Fiji and Kiwi, I would think, but that is the link to that video. Anyone who does want to check it out, it is about 6 minutes long, and I actually give my score prediction at the very end of that game. But New Zealand versus Fiji, 19th ranked New Zealand, 11th ranked Fiji. They'll keep on making their way up. Any more rugby tonight, Amish? Says Aiden, I was told strictly by George that I am not allowed to do any more after this one, as he will be round early morning. And because of that, he will be probably knocking on my window before I am even completely out of bed. And God nations at thy feet. And confidence high right now to New Zealand, says Michelle. And also we've got there, go Fiji and New Zealand, says Tesla. And South Africa did not play good. Was a bit off this tournament, says Hanley. Yeah, just something didn't quite click for them, unfortunately, in this one. South Africa, but we know how strong they are. They're going to fight back. I'm feeling go referee, says Alaza there. But looking through at the bench, it is going to be number 1 for Fiji, Vakurana Billy. I still can't quite say his name. It's getting closer, though. They're Matana, and then they have also got their Ratu Rafiri, Boka Yaro, and Saro there. I saw George drinking a Fanta, Hamish. And there says David the Mod, yeah, he just takes them. He just sees them in the fridge and goes, yeah, that'll do. And Fiji tap Japan 62-0. Can't even, says Tesla. Also, we have got there, what's the women's? Or when's the women's? Is it next weekend? No, they've still got another 3 weeks or so before the women's game will take place. And let's go, Team New Zealand, says Flapu Gaming there. Currently, Fiji touching the trophy. I believe it was Jerry Tawai. They all want a chance of being able to hold that one. Looking off the bench, it is Kitiona Vai, Brady Rush, Trell Johas, Andrew Newstubb actually going to be on the bench. Now, that's huge because of the fact that he was possibly going to be ruled out due to an ankle injury, but it seems like he's still going to be match fit for this one. And also 35 or 37.5, Fiji's win odd, $2.55, says Nika on that one. And also Joe Weber, I should mention, is also an option off the bench alongside Caleb Tangitao. So I believe that maybe with Joe Weber there, that is because of that injury of Newstubb, that they have got the extra man just in case. Yeah, well, I like to get in between George and I wouldn't want to get in between George and a Phantom might dick me. And there, I put $20 on the All Blacks. Let's go, says Aiden. And also New Zealand came to Fiji for a reason last week. They know their mentality, and also New Zealand to win another treat for a neutral. Certainly is. It's going to be an awesome matchup. New Zealand, the national anthem, is going to be playing here for them. This is going to be a big match because I know that ever since that final, a lot of Kiwis have been thinking about the fact that that silver medal, it could have been gold, but they did end up missing out. Anyone who doesn't know Australia, they ended up finishing 3rd, and then in 4th, it was the Irish, which is actually a very good finish for Ireland. And also, Jaron says, Yash, I'm going to try my best to be impartial in this game. I do love watching Fiji play. I love watching New Zealand play, and I feel like this is the perfect combination of getting to see both teams in action. And come on, New Zealand. Everyone cheers for New Zealand. And there, as I says, Michelle, two teams that haven't played in ages, like all other teams, to be in the final. And then the first tournament back is just the best, says Tesla. And I mean, Samoa for me also really impressed. Like, even though they're not here in the final, they showed that they are certainly a contender for these sevens competitions coming up, including Vancouver next week. And Fiji have the ability to recycle the second ball, and it's always going to give them an edge, says Austin. And the big thing for me as well is discipline. Fiji have been very good throughout this sevens tournament, I believe. And if they can do that once again here, that's going to be huge for them. And they should be able to really make the most of it. And also go the Kiwis, says Blindside 15 there. Only the New Zealand national anthem, then the Fijian national anthem will follow. And then Singapore, it is evening at the moment over there. It is hot still, humid still. There could be a few drop balls throughout this matchup. But Sam Dixon, question is whether or not he is getting a yellow card, because he's had quite a few throughout the last little while. But for me, looking through at both of these two sides, if I had to pick one player to stand out for both teams, for me, it's probably going to be, I'm going to go Regan Ware for the Kiwis. And then if I was to pick anyone for Fiji, it's hard to just pick one because there's about two or three I'd like to pick. But I'm going to go with Nathunu, but also Talatholo gets an honourable mention for that. A massive achievement for Regan Ware, getting his 100th try today, as I says, Myers. Yeah, very impressive. Like 100 tries is not something that's too easy. I mean, we've seen the most in this series. I believe it was 20 something for this year, somewhere around there. I just want to say excellent coverage and calling this weekend, Hamish. Well done, matey, says David the Mod. And I have enjoyed every second of it. I believe this is about our 17th hour live in the past 30 hours or something along those lines, some ridiculous stat like that. So it is absolutely insane how much I've talked, yet somehow my voice is still slightly here. You can see the emotion on the face of the Fijian side as they know how important this matchup is. This is their opportunity to come back on the Sevens circuit and be able to make a big impact in Harrisburg next week, the Sevens Championship in Vancouver. It is indeed. So that will be early morning starts for us here in New Zealand. And also we've got the Hamish going to cover tennis at some point. Don't know. I feel like the biggest tennis one was probably the Australian Open, wasn't it? And we didn't do any of it. So we'll have to wait and see. That would definitely be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, though, if we did end up doing it. You can see the emotion on the face of the Fijians. They know how much this means to not just themselves, not just to the team, but to the country of Fiji. And they are focused. They're zoned in. And it is going to be an extremely exciting contest. But this game just about to kick off, ladies and gentlemen. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat as well. You can see the tears streaming down the face of Fiji. And now you know that they're going to give it 110%. And if not, even more than that. New Zealand, they're going to have to be on their A game. They did have a very close game with Argentina at the start. They have lifted up a child. Okay, the child is allowed to hold up the ball. I was like, wait, whose child is that? But he is holding up the ball. He's very happy as well. As how get it held up in the middle of the huddle. That is a moment that young man will not forget for the rest of his life. It's tough to stream tennis, Gareth. Even the commentators are silent at the point of it being played. And you're just in the semi-finals of the big tournaments. There's Gareth there as well. Yeah, see, it would be a tricky one. I can make the noises myself, like, and just kind of do it like that, but it might not go too well. I could reenact it, maybe play it on the Wii. That would be an interesting video. Hamish and George play Wii Sports Tennis. Irish Wise New Zealand written in the score card instead of All Blacks. And as I said, going, so pretty much it is the New Zealand Sevens side. I decided rather than changing it so that it does have them as the All Blacks, just because that's kind of their, I guess you could say their nickname, but also what they are known as well. But I went by the countries rather than the nicknames for the sides. And also I've said this so many times, or I said this past 2 days, the Southern Hemisphere donates Rugby Sevens and Amazing Emotions Fiji. And there says David Mora does indeed. And Fiji, they will be kicking off this game. Nathunu will be getting us underway now. Big moment. Where does he go? That's the big question. It's all up to Fiji now. All of the job up to this point has been done. 14 minutes is all they need. New Zealand doing nicely there. And Regan, we're able to lift up. I believe it was the number. Wow, Fiji already getting a penalty, but it was actually Rokoselia. Now quick tap taken by Dalgunu. He sees a bit of space. The flying Fijian, 5 meters from the line. In fact, he's only one. He's going to be dragged down nicely. Fiji, if they go topside, they score this try, but it's a counter ruck from New Zealand. It pops out on their side, and that was a try-saving tackle by New Zealand. Now Tony Inshu, this game's going to be played at a frantic pace. I think that's in publicity. This is Nina. And now currently, Rokosolia Wrestled down only a few meters out here from the line. New Zealand, they're going to have to try and find a way. Getting over. Sam Dixon decides now is the time to boot. It's a good boot as well. Gone way downfield. This one might even go close to the touchline, but it's going to be taken nicely by Jerry Tawai. He's going to try and find the gap. He steps around one man, Sam Dixon. Jerry Tawai tackled. And now Tony Inshu with a counter ruck. Brilliantly done. No, he's lost his footing. Now it's available for Fiji. Natsunyu. Once again, I'm looking around for Talatolo and New Zealand 21, Fiji 19. And this will be a cracker of a match. What is your prediction? I'm back in New Zealand. And yeah, I did actually do a preview of this match. I don't want to spoil what I said for my prediction in that one, but I will let you know at the end of the match how close that I was. But now it is going to be Talatolo with the ball. Sam Dixon picking him up, putting him backwards. A little bit loose. Dalgunu picks it up. Jerry Tawai. He sees a gap. He's going. And these are normally the moments that he really steps up. Talatolo, he's a hard man to put down. And you've got to get the arms. And they weren't able to. Fiji score it. And that is going to be the try for the number 12, Nadovalo. He scored so many times in the past little while. And Hayes says RIP. Well, that was Kyle, in fact. Welcome in. And it's going to be a Vaivawa Nadowalo who was able to score it. He has been a try-scoring machine in Singapore, 9 tries. And he's probably going to get a 10th, to be honest, the way he's been going. But Jerry Tawai, it's the offload game of Fiji that makes it so hard to be able to stop them. Nadovalo, just with that much acceleration, 7-0 now to Fiji, and they have got a great start to this matchup for the final. And you can see the emotion on his face when he goes over the line. It's semi-playing. He is not. And also Steifler is playing. Augusta is like from a different planet. And also come on, New Zealand. Why are they playing sloppy rugby? There's 8 in there as well. But Nadavalu, he is leading the tournament tries by an extra 3 ahead of anyone else. Onisai is another man on there. He was going nicely for Samoa, drinking it at the fountain. There's Mimanea. Now going to be wrestled down. Dixon on the 40-meter line. Out from their own line here, New Zealand. Regan Ware going across. Flat pass. It's knocked on there. He's getting held back a little bit. Okay, he can't believe it. He's saying it came off his knee. The referee is saying it's a knock on, though. And also, over there, I'm drinking every point that scored 7 drinks it is. And YouTube watch along. Watching is above 170. Lots of viewers watching this content. And yeah, Fiji, they are a very popular 7 side. Same with New Zealand. Yeah, so it did end up going out of his hands. Hit his knee. Tosser boy says broken. Well, that one, but currently now 3.5 minutes left in this first half. We're a quarter of the way through this match. That's the thing. Sevens is so quick, so frantic that if you blink, you miss it. So I'm going to try my best not to blink for the next 3.5 minutes, but my eyes would probably be watering by the end. So I will have to make sure that I blink a little bit. New Zealand have not beaten Fiji in a cup final since Wellington 2012. That's a long time. That is almost a decade. Now, Jerry Tawai feeds the ball in for Fiji, and now fends it back through his legs, or in fact, pops it back through. Brilliant step for Fiji. It's a good fend from Nasaku, who's going to be dragged down just short of the line. Fiji get it again, and it's another try. Or he's done his calf, or he's done his hammy or something, but that's Nathunu going over, scores himself the try, and that is now Fiji up 12 points to 0. And where is this match taking place? It is in Singapore. It used to be 10 minutes per half in the finals. Maybe they changed it. It says like, yeah, we have just got only 7 minutes, I believe, now, which is a shame because it was quite nice seeing the 10 minutes. Each time to go Fiji, go Tosoyani, New Zealand, and also feasting on the mana. It was a very nicely done offload up from Rasaku. And also, don't worry, never count out the All Blacks. And that one says Aiden, and that is going to be another very nicely kind of well set up try. And just too good. Go Fiji. That's a great kick. That's a brilliant kick. It's gone over. And now the score is going to be 14 points to Fiji and New Zealand on the nil. 2 minutes left in this first half. At the moment, his debut was in 2014. He's on 98 tries. Nathunu, remember that number because he might be able to bring up the 100th in this game. Go Fiji, go says Tia, go Fiji. And there's his broken Sam Dixon taking it very nicely. Got to admire the genetics and power and the speed of Fiji. Yeah, they're just a whole different breed when it comes to sevens. They're born to do this, and they're just absolutely phenomenal. Collier steps on the inside, find the offload up across to Regan Ware now. And the Kiwis, they just need to find a gap, although the Fijian defense has been very strong throughout this sevens competition. Sam Dixon, they've got the offload. It goes up. Now Moses Leo, he actually ends up slipping over a little bit. Still bouncing out of the tackles, just wrestling his way forward out of a couple of the Fijians tackles. Nathuanu, in fact, it was Jerry Tawai, flipped over the front of the breakdown. Now it's 3-on-1. Oh, Tony and Shug didn't need to go there. He should have passed it out the back line. Now Moses Leo, wide slinging pass. They've got the numbers on the outside. Step in nicely. Flank back. This will be a try as long as that isn't forward. It's forward. Being called as forward, and also Fiji's too quick and sharp in rugby. And then Fiji have this in the bag, and also Fire says broken, and also Bula Vanaka, Fiji Pacific, neighbour, Solomon Island. Go Fiji, says Croft there. The worst thing is, the man for New Zealand could have run it in himself, but he decided to go on the outside to Collier, and it was forward. And that is a massive moment in the game. New Zealand, they needed that try to get back into the contest. But they did end up blowing it. But Jerry Tawai Cup finals for Fiji. He has got the most, 27 Cup finals. Huge numbers for him. Also, Ravovo's in there. He's currently playing very well for the Fijian Drua. We do cover the games on the channel as well. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Jerry Tawai about to feed this ball in now. Waiting for it. Puts the ball in. Almost stolen by New Zealand. Also, how's the tour log? Amish as well. How's the tour log? Tour log. I feel like, as in like when the dates are, maybe? And also Vanaka says, I said that also, what the hell are they doing in this? Says Aiden, also go Kiwi. Says Aiden, it's going to be a quick tap. They can go Fiji. And the chat says, Brogan, go Fiji, go. Oh, Fiji on fire. They certainly are. That's going to be a deliberate knock-on, or I think they just call it as a knock-on here. Fiji wide, slinging past now. Talatholo going to be running at the line. He goes through. No one is going to catch him as quick as he'd like to think he is for New Zealand. He's not going to get there. And Fiji will score their third try of the first half. Nicely done. The time is off at the moment. And it's Josefa Talatholo who has been able to get out. Fiji too good, says Sensei, or Sensa there. Oh, they're going upstairs. Oh, I think there's a bit of push and shove. Yeah, a little bit of push and shove going on currently. And also we have got there. Stop watching, says Sensa there. Okay, I think Leroy Carter, he's got a yellow card. Okay, well, I mean, you argue with the referee. That is normally what happens. What a disaster for the All Blacks. And now Fiji is the greatest sevens nation. And also, let's go my country, Fiji, says Manav. And Talatholo, he goes in, scores himself the try. Easy Cup win for Fiji. There's Hanley there, and they are running in beautifully currently, putting the ball down. Is this a record viewer count? It is not. We actually had more on Samoa versus New Zealand, I believe it was. But at the end of the day, anyone who is watching this one, any more than one person is always like brilliant. All right, also Lako, Viti Lako. And that says Tiamo, but that is going to be halftime now. 21 points to Fiji and 0 to New Zealand. Currently, Fiji, they will be confident going into the second half and go on top. And there as well, says Ayash. But currently, 3 tries being scored. It was a Nadavalu. Alongside him, it was Naitheru. And then it was, what do I call him? Nathunu, sorry. Forgot his name for a second there. A couple of Fiji, we won 42-0, says Nika. And then it was Talatholo, who did end up getting there on 8. And then a couple good conversions from Rasaku, and then also Nathunu, sorry, was able to also do just that. But so far, tackling-wise, Fiji, they've made 4 tackles. They've missed 3 New Zealand. They haven't really been able to get over the try line. And when is this next sevens tournament after this is actually going to be Vancouver. And that is going to be very exciting to see. And that is actually next weekend. So be sure to stick around for that, as it is going to be the next one that we are doing for the Seventh Circuit. Then we've got a week off after that. And then after that, it is the women's side coming back in for it. And that is going to be also very exciting, seeing the Fijiana side in action. But currently New Zealand, they know that they need to do something different in that second half. Fiji, they outclass them with the pace and also with that offload game. You got to shut down the arms. Or I say, well, run rapid in the second half. And ref is as one-eyed as one who keeps kept counting the Aussies. I believe both sides off the rush there, says John Berger there. And also, this is making me thirsty. Got to crack a beer, says Flesh. And I mean, I've got my water here. Which isn't a bad idea. And Tosaviti from the USA, and Tosaviti, and they're from Vanuatu, says Endere. And also, why All Blacks struggling so much? Is it do Fiji is too good or New Zealand playing bad? I think it's got to be probably considered as a mixture of both. Fiji have been very clinical throughout this first half, but New Zealand They've had a couple of opportunities and they just haven't quite been able to get themselves, I guess, putting it together. And now that they've got a man disadvantage for the next little while, it's going to be a tricky one. But now it is going to be kicked off once again. Just the 10 meters, beautifully taken there by New Zealand. And Tony Unshu, it's gone backwards. I believe it is going to be, is it a knock on? No, they're going back for the initial scrum feed for New Zealand now. And also, Amesbro, New Zealand need every single minute to go for try. It's not possible. And that says for sure, although we have seen teams be down by 21 before, come back to win at 24-21. Of course, that was actually at the Olympics that we did see a side do that. I think it was New Zealand up against Great Britain. And Fiji, they are also a side that can certainly bump it up big time. But Eric Rush currently watching this game with close intent, 21-0 to Fiji. And go Fiji, go show them. And there's says Miri Wairita. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. And how great is Bear as a 10-year-old? And there says Jay, I mean, he's a bit older than 10, Tesla. But now, going to be passing it back across. Regan Ware almost turned over by Fiji, not quite. Tony Unshu now going off to Collier. Now Leroy Carter going to be back in his space. In fact, sorry, it's actually going to be Tangitau. And number 8, Caleb Tangitau gets up, goes again. They still didn't hold him down. Now Unshu with a man disadvantage here, New Zealand trying to make their way through. Offload back into the hands of Regan Ware. Drawn past. Dixon sees the corner, but he's got 2 Fijians in front of him. Cuts back on the inside. A little bit too easy for him. And Regan Ware scores the try. And that is the Kiwis. They were a man down, and now they have got themselves back in there. And also we've got there Lako Maiviti, and then a Fiji boy. And there, as I said, Sam. And currently Fiji, it's 1 try against them, but you'd have to say that they're just an inch away from being able to get one themselves. It was a big hit there on Caleb Tangitau. He wasn't out, got back up. Wasn't out for a second time, got back up. Went down for a third time. He was almost like a bit of a jack in the box there, just popping up and down like he's on a trampoline. And then from there, Dixon saw the corner. You'd have to argue just a little bit too committed there. That one on the outside, 21 sips of beer. And there's also watching from Fiji. Says Altaf striking it not so well. It goes away to the side there for New Zealand. And also, what is the time duration of this match? We've got another 5 minutes left in this matchup. And then after that, whoever's at the top, they will be the winner of the game. And come on, New Zealand. Says Vishal for that one. But currently now, Regan Ware, he's actually off the field. They've decided to make that sub, or have they? Yeah, I think they have. And also, I need a whole lot more than 21 sips of beer, brother. There's Tesla. It's going to be kicked off once again, short by the Kiwis. It's going to be taken nicely by Talatholo. You have been able to wrestle him down and you need a bowl of cover, not a glass of water, bro. Says Yamo, and also thanks, mate, for the update. And there says Miri Wairita. Hopefully I've said that not too badly, but now driving forward here for Fiji, 35 metres out. Jerry Tawai slings it across field. They have got back to 7-on-7 now. And Tosaviti in there says Samu. Good run forward from the big man, number 1, the captain of the side. And Vakurana Billy. Talatholo once again going across, using their backline quite nicely here for Fiji. Good step from Jerry Tawai. He's got the base, trying to link up. Found the pass on the inside. And Jerry Tawai sets up. Once again, it's none other than Nadovalu. He cannot avoid the ball at the moment. And he's got another one. But just got to be a New Zealand scored. And as I told you, so Fiji are the masters of second ball recycling, and that is their weapon. And don't touch the Fiji players. New Zealand what every minute of the ball position in their hands. It leads too much. I think New Zealand will win 21-10. And there says the show, and they have just extended that lead by just a little bit more. And it was a great bit of work from Jerry Tawai. Gives it off, and it is the number 12 once again, adding his 10th try, I believe it is, of this competition, and drinking and feasting. And go Fiji, says Sam. Kicked over. And that is going to now make the score 28 points to Fiji and 5 to New Zealand. Fiji, they are back and they are running rampage at the moment. Jerry Tawai getting taken off, and 26-5 to Fiji, and offload King Fiji. And yeah, it is that ball recycling, finding that next pass as soon as you're about to go down. And also, you call it Fiji versus New Zealand. And yeah, and also we've got there Tosaviti, says Sam, for this game. And also Josivata is here in the chat as well. I hope you are doing well, mate. Currently, New Zealand, once again, they have to try and break their way through. Collier, you'd have to argue the defence. He was able to sneak through that tackle just a little bit too easy. But I do see, with the fact that they haven't got new stuff, the Kiwis, it seems like they're taking a little bit longer to get used to Rocco Solia. Ricardo dropped there. Vi, a lot of pressure on him, flicks the ball back out the back. The ball bounces favorably for the flying Fijians. Waits for it. It's a knock-on the ground. And Moses there to game over, and also YouTube live watching 400. And there's our certainly is. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also game over. And also remember to say go Fiji, go. And gotta love to see the best two sides battling it out. And thanks for the commentary, says RSM. No worries at all. And we are going to be back for the Vancouver Sevens that are coming up in a very short moment. And that is going to be next week that they are taking place. All of these sides, New Zealand, Fiji, Australia, the Blitzbox, Samoa, you name it, they're going to be there. Hey, bro, it's been a while, says Amy Film. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well in Fiji as always. Fiji, Tosa Viti Tosa. And there, and also we're going to go Fiji, go says Amel. And also Jerry is just fabulous. He is. He's one of the key figures in the Fiji and Sevens side. Like they showed, 27 times that man has been in a cup final. 27. That's a majority, or that's probably more than all of the other Fijian players combined, you'd almost have to argue. This point in time, once again, just trying to sneak forward a little bit more. It was Tangi Tau. Now for the Kiwis, Collier, they're trying to get one last try perhaps. Now going forward, step in sideways, down the wing. Moses Leo uses his pace. Now still going Moses Leo. And he is going to be able to score the try. He makes it a nice, easy conversion for them as well. He has Tosa Viti in there. Thanks again, says Raina. No worries at all. And congratulations, Viti. And there says Sebastian, at least New Zealand turned up for the final after 2 years away. Says sweet as and proud Fiji and says Rometa. And then it is another try for the Kiwis. It's Moses Leo who has been able to go over. And now an important kick. He does get it over. And now New Zealand sitting 12 points to 28. And the Fiji team is just too good, says Fred. And the best thing about it is it's a combination of the old and the new. It's Jerry Tawai. Then you've also got these young guns who are just going through the lineup and cheering up the format of Sevens. And also Moses, a future All Black for sure. And sorry, New Zealand Singapore Challenge, not accept your requests. They go on Fiji side. That's once again going to be taken by New Zealand. Now a minute left. And they are going to be trying to go to the short side here, out to the wing. Caleb Tangitao passes it back across New Zealand. They need 3 tries in 1 minute if they do want a chance of being able to win it. Offload made. Moses Leo now on the outside goes out to Vi, the youngster on debut for the Sevens tournament. Close to the touchline. He keeps it in just in the field of play. Now Moses Leo finds the offload. New Zealand, it's a loose ball. Waits for it to bounce up. Beautiful work from the Kiwis. Now wide, slinging cutout pass. Waits for the bounce. Going to find the offload if he does want it. No, instead decides to back himself. Now finds the offload back for New Zealand. And also we've got there Nakaviti, and there's Paolo now going short side. Now it's going to be Caleb Tangitao. He goes over for himself. He slams the ball down, and he says that's another one for us. Also we have got there 28-5. Well, love you guys. Always Fiji lose or win. You're always my team. And as I said Cecilia, and it is going to be pretty awesome seeing a rematch of this game maybe in the future. And thank you for the commentary. Much appreciated. No worries at all. And thank you very much for tuning in. He's done extremely well to stay in the field of play. And now it is going to be one last kickoff for New Zealand in this match. Or at least it in there. 28. That misses out to the side. Okay. I believe there's still time for one more kick. Maybe. No, it's called his full time. And that is going to be Fiji, who are victorious. 28 points to 17. And they have been able to come back after their layoff. They are back with a new side and a newfound, really just dominance in Sevens. They went extremely well. They had their first loss up against Ireland, but from there, they went on. They fought hard. They made it to the final, and they won. How long left, says Oni. It is over now. The Sun and also we got their big Fiji plan. Early scorings is working. And yes, go Fiji. But it is going to be once again that streak of winning up against New Zealand in cup finals since 2012 will continue for the Flying Fijians. You've got to say, Jerry Tawai, one of the backbones of this Fijian side. Same with Nastunyo, he was phenomenal in this one. And Naduvalu scoring himself the 2 tries. And also what a game of 2 legendary teams. And hopefully, who knows, we will get to see this rematch perhaps in the near future and don't make much difference with those players. They did well. And congratulations, Fiji, says MH Joy for that one. Yeah, very nicely done by both of these sides. I managed to predict New Zealand's score. My score prediction in the end on that preview video that I did put up just a little bit ago. I will put that in the link if you want to hear what I say. And that one, I actually called a few of the best players for Fiji in this one as well. But I actually said 22 points to 17 in favor of Fiji. So I was a bit off but it wasn't a mile off at the same time. So I'll take it. And Tosa Viti Tosa says to Ian, also well done, Fiji. Says MH Joy, and also always with your Fiji. And cheers, everyone. Everyone subscribe. Says there's you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We have got plenty more sevens coming. In fact, we will be doing the squad announcements a little bit later on in the week for the the Vancouver Sevens, as there are going to be quite a few changes in there. And also we got there, in there. So it was it under 37.5 points that you needed? It was just a little bit over, wasn't it? And also we've got there, click like, subscribe. Cheers, going to watch Quins versus Montpellier. Now says Flesh, and also go Fiji, go says Rishi for that one. And also thank you, Hamish, for staying up late for us. No worries at all. And it was very exciting. I mean, I love my sevens, and we've had so many games in the last little while. Like, we've had upsets, we've had victories. You can see how much it means to the Fijian players out there. And share Kiwi Lads. That is the other thing. If you do want to help us out, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out the Kiwi Lads Sported as one of our other ones on the YouTubes. And also we've got there Austin. Says full-time 28-17 Fiji champions, Singapore Kings. Says Austin. And done very nicely indeed. But if you are a fan of Fiji, we'll let you know. We have also got there the Fijian Sevens. That is one thing that we cover. The Fijiana Sevens is another one. And then the Fijian Drua, we actually will be following along with them in the Super Rugby Pacific campaign. So we do cover all of their games where you see each sevens players such as Ravovo, also a few of those other guys out on the wing. Haborsi, I don't know whether or not he's played in the seven side, but if he hasn't, maybe sign him up because he's very good. Respect to Fiji, attack and formation, and how Fiji deserves this. They do. They always put their hearts on their sleeves in the sevens format, and currently you can see how much it means to them. Young talented team, go Fiji, go, says Azali. And also we have got there, go Fiji, go, says Late. In that one, or Late. Hopefully I've said that correctly. That one, but currently now, player of the tournament, that would be a very tricky one to come up with, but I feel like Nuduvalo being able to get himself a total of 10 tries throughout it is absolutely huge. And also well done New Zealand to getting into the finals. Great first kick out. Guys, much love, brother, says too. And also Fiji draw future champions of the Super Rugby. And also Fiji Sevens, always crowd favourites. And thanks New Zealand for the lovely game, and congratulations Fiji, says Rishi. Exactly right. It wouldn't be the final without the other side. In New Zealand, they did do all right in this one. They fought hard at the end, but Fiji, they were just too strong. They started the match extremely well, and they just didn't really look like they were going to be giving up their lead. Definitely not when you give the Fijians a lead. They will fight with every part of their soul to be able to keep it. But at the moment, Nadovalo, he was actually the one who did end up having the tears in his eyes for the national anthem. He's the player of the final. He's the player of the series, in my opinion. He's been absolutely brilliant. And cheers, Fiji chat, Amish and my peers. Much love. Cheers, everyone. Next comp. And there says there's and also New Zealand. Don't upset. Plenty of rugby league tournaments still waiting for us. And also congrats, Fiji, says Late. And Fiji too good, says Late Show. They were indeed. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to check out that preview video I did. See how close I got. Not hugely, but got some things right. So I guess I'll take that one. And that is the link that is in the pinned comment. Or it's not the pinned comment, but it is just the link that I did just put into the chat there as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you all for the next one.